Hello, Mac here, and today I'm going to talk about the weapon wheel system and why I feel it's a flawed mechanic in GTA 5 and GTA Online. Now, you may be wondering, what's the big problem with the weapon wheel system? Because I don't really have a problem necessarily with the actual weapon wheel. It's the fact that you can hold unlimited weapons in GTA Online. Not necessarily, I don't really have a problem with single player, but the problem I have with GTA Online is that you can hold unlimited weapons. Now, this kind of makes sense, it's a game that isn't necessarily trying to be realistic, and, from a gameplay standpoint, you would think, well, having unlimited weapons in the game is obviously a good system, because having the option to switch to any weapon in the game at any point seems like a good idea, but the problem that it has is with weapon balancing. Now, the problem with this is certain weapons have their disadvantages. Weapons like shotguns or, SMGs or snipers are only really good in certain situations but fail at other situations. So let's take like a shotgun for example. Let's say you have just your standard shotgun. It is amazing out to 40 meters. If you're up close 10-20 meters in front of somebody, you can devastate them in 1 to 2 shots if all your pellets hit. But at a longer distance, past 40 meters, the weapon is completely useless. You won't even register your shots at that distance. So, in most games, what they'll do is, if you want a shotgun, they'll make it like a primary weapon. So you can't have like another like assault rifle or an SMG or a sniper whenever you're using a shotgun. Now, this makes sense because, of course, the shotgun, the main reason why it's so good and so devastating is because it's only really good at close range. And that's what its purpose is made for, to get a close range kill very easily. But its disadvantage, with all that close range power is that it's completely useless at longer ranges. This can also be seen in weapons like the sniper with their disadvantage. The sniper is very powerful at longer ranges, but up close, it's not that good. Sure, you can, of course, use it at close range if you get a lucky shot, but it's very hard to use, and you'd just be better off with maybe a shotgun or an SMG or an assault rifle at those closer ranges than using a sniper. But the problem that we have in GTA is if you are using, say, a shotgun, and you see an enemy at longer ranges that you do want to take out, you can just switch to a sniper, an assault rifle, or an MG, and take them out super easily. Basically, what will happen is the disadvantage that the shotgun has of you using the shotgun because you can't take somebody out long range, you can just switch to a different weapon and take out enemies at that distance. So I came up with a system that could very easily be implemented into GTA Online with just a, next update or something, They could just patch this in, and it would be a much better system, in my opinion, than the system that we have now, which is just pick up a weapon and you're just going to keep it forever until you drop it. Now, the system I came up with was kind of a point system. Similar if you've ever played like any of the recent Call of Duties, they've kind of had a point system like this. Black Ops 2 implemented the Pick 10 system. Black Ops 3 is going to have the Pick 10 system, and I think Advanced Warfare had like a Pick 13 system. So, it's kind of similar to that. But instead of every single item being 1 point, you have different points for different weapons and different items. So you have a total of 12 points. Now, this would be like a separate menu, and whenever you go into this menu, it would show your character and your loadout, and you can obviously like pick different loadouts. So you can have like a sniper loadout, and then you can also have maybe an assault rifle loadout, and then maybe like an RPG loadout and grenade loadout. You could have just all these different loadouts. But you'd only have 12 points within that certain loadout, and that's the loadout that you have to choose whenever you go into a match. And you could obviously always switch at any time, basically. And you'll just, whenever you die, you'll just switch to the other loadout that you chose. Now, with those 12 points, you'd have different weapons would have different points values. So for 2 points, you could get like any pistol and the micro SMG. For 4 points, you'd have SMGs and shotguns. The weapons that would cost 6 points would be the assault rifles, the sniper, and the marksman rifle, and the assault shotgun. The weapons that would cost 8 points would be MGs, heavy sniper, grenade launcher, and RPG. Then at 10 points, you'd have the Holman launcher and the minigun. So each weapon would cost a certain number of points, and you could obviously have 12 points. But you'd also have other equipment, like attachments would be 1 point. armor would be 1 point, and you could have super heavy armor for 2 points. Bulletproof helmet would be 2 points, so instead of it being like an accessory, it would just be an equipment option. And then you could also have maybe grenades and sticky bombs and all those. Those could also be 1 point each. And also, there would also be other attachments, new attachments. Say, like, let's say you'd have, like, if you chose, like, an assault rifle, like the carbine rifle or something, you'd have about 4 to 5 magazines in that weapon, just standard. But you could also maybe double that or triple that if you want to hold more ammo so that you don't run out of ammo. Then you could just, put maybe an extra point into your weapon, and you would double your ammunition or something. And then you could also put, like, maybe a suppressor. That'd be another point. So if you wanted to choose maybe like a minigun and an assault rifle, you wouldn't be able to do that because that would cost too many points. So if you want to run with like a minigun, you'd only be able to run with maybe a pistol or maybe 2 grenades or something like that. So with that power, with that powerful weapon, you'd only be able to run with maybe another pistol or something like that. And another thing is you would always have unarmed as another option. So you could always just run around and put your weapon away and run, as unarmed, which is also another option. That won't cost you anything, but that will be on your character. You could also have maybe melee weapons be another point as well, 1 point each. And this would just be a very nice system, in my opinion. And it would just add a lot more customization as well. So you could have this, full loadout system, and you could have, you could just pick whatever you want. So if you want to pick maybe an SMG, you could run with that. That'd be 4 points, so you have 8 points left. Then you could maybe put on another sniper. That'd be 6 points. You'd only have 2 points left. Then you could, maybe put a few attachments on that SMG, like maybe a scope or a suppressor, extended mags, or double your ammunition in that weapon. Or you could maybe get like a bulletproof helmet, but then you'd run out of points there. Or you could get like a grenade just in case if you need an explosive weapon. So if you wanted to run with a weapon that didn't have any explosives and a vehicle came after you, you wouldn't be able to blow up that vehicle unless you just wasted all your ammo shooting at the vehicle. And there's another Rockstar game out there that kind of had a similar system to this, and that's called Max Payne 3. Now in Max Payne 3 single player, you could only hold 3 weapons, 2 pistols, and then you could dual wield those. And then you also had like a 2-handed weapon. But in multiplayer, you could also hold 3 weapons, but you'd had a loadout system similar to this, but you didn't really have a point system. You had a weight system. So if you only ran with maybe, a pistol and a grenade, well, you'd be far lighter than if you ran with like an LMG and, 2 pistols and, a bulletproof helmet on and stuff. You'd be super heavy. And Max Payne 3 had a lot more mobility options like dive in and compared to GTA 5, which really doesn't have that except for maybe Rowan. So if you were running with like a minigun and all this, they could add maybe a weight system in. So that you'd be slower. I mean, there already is that, but let's say you're running with like an MG, and then you're also running with maybe a grenade and a few other weapons in there. Then you'd be much slower, and maybe you wouldn't even be able to run that fast. But maybe if you're just running with maybe shotguns or SMGs or maybe pistols, then you'd run much faster than if you're using a weapon like an MG or something. They could add a weight system, but I just think even if they didn't have a weight system, and just a pick 12 system, or whatever system they want to call it. I mean, pick 12 would kind of be ripping off of Call of Duty, their system, but I feel like this is much more in-depth than the Call of Duty system, which is just everything is 1 point. Now, the way that you would go into this system, to make loadouts and all that, in free roam, there would just be an option whenever you go to, like, your character or something. You would just be able to choose a loadout, and you'd have all your weapons that you have bought and all that. Then you could just choose a loadout there, or they could even make it appear in ammunition as well. That would be kind of cool. You could make loadouts in there. Another thing is this would also transfer to like winning a job. So if you were playing a job or something, then like if you pressed like a certain button, you would be taken to your loadout screen, and while you're waiting for the job to start, you could mess around with a few classes, and of course whenever you get into the match, you could choose those classes. One other thing that this would really help out with, and I think would be very interesting, is in Heist. So, in Heist right now, you basically have unlimited weapons. But, imagine if this system was in place, this would also transfer to Heist in online. And you're doing a heist, and you have 3 other friends and you. So, let's say you have a friend, and he wants to get like a heavy sniper, and he wants to be like the sniper of the group. Well, he wouldn't be able to have like another assault rifle or something. That would just not work for him. And you could also have another person that, you know, maybe has like an RPG or something, just in case if a vehicle comes after you. You could, of course, take that vehicle out. But if you didn't have a guy with an RPG or a homing launcher or a grenade launcher or something, then it'd be very hard to take out a vehicle that's coming after you or something. Something like that. So like take out helicopters, it would be much harder if you didn't have a guy with an RPG or grenade launcher or something like that. So you'd have to coordinate with your team, you know, see what classes they're going to choose, what weapons they're going to choose, and what equipment they're going to choose, and, you know, coordinate with your team so that if you have a friend that has like a sniper, well, he, you know, may not have another MG or something, you know, like that, and he wouldn't have like an explosive weapon. So you'd have to get one of your other friends who does have one of those and does have, you know, maybe a grenade launcher on him to, you know, go kill people in an armored vehicle or something. Also, this would declutter the weapon wheel, which a lot of people have been complaining about. Like, they're like, I don't want to have, like, a musket with me. I don't want to have all these different pistols. Well, this would really, really declutter the weapon wheel system. And if you wanted to have a class with, like, an SNS pistol or something like that, which isn't that viable of a weapon, let's be honest, but you would still be able to select that, and, you know, you could switch to a class with that whenever you die. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Do you like the weapon wheel, or do you think that this system, this, you know, Pick 12 system, or this loadout system would be a very nice system for GTA Online? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and do you think that this system could be improved in any way? Let me know those in the comments. Hope you enjoy. Feedback is appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video.